emergency. He has got assault police marker.
Vehicle's stopped.
Get it off! Get it off! Give me your hands!
On the floor now!
North Yorkshire's traffic cops.
Crash, 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 crash.
140 mile an hour. How stupid are you?
Driving down crime in England's largest county.
Don't lie to me.
Stone.
Across 3,000 square miles.
Your vehicle's been stolen. Fire and ambulance heading towards.
Dealing with danger on the roads.
What the bloody hell are you doing?
Male is trapped in the vehicle upside down.
Under pressure.
Go over there and I will speak to you.
Come on, mate, talk to us.
Out! You're under arrest. Don't move.
And at risk.
Tell me what I can't see!
Right, you're under arrest.
What's up? Right, you've had enough.
That's serious organised crime level.
Any more strikes, mate, you're going to go to prison.
Around every corner,
He's going to kill somebody.
Why haven't you stopped?
there's a new challenge for the traffic cops.
Show me your hands! Show me your hands!
Coming up,
There's kids toys in them kid rigs, mate.
angry illegal drivers
Drive 100 mile an hour in raining. You've got a kiddie in there and you're driving like that.
risking young lives with something to hide.
It's a substantial quantity of money in that handbag.
It's a good job you put me in the cuffs as well. I'm telling you.
Get car. Go on.
Runaway drivers
Yes, it's making off.
refusing to play by the rules.
Failing to stop is endorsable.
Is it?
Yes.
Do you want to bet?
It is endorsable. It is.
And a tip-off
Take his phone, take his speed down.
forces the traffic cops into action.
This is brutality, this. This is proper brutality. I want to ring a solicitor now.
There's a vehicle that's hit a parked car on him and taking a look, possibly the OPL.
Yeah, I'll take a look. 3 minutes away.
15 miles east of Leeds, North Yorkshire traffic cops Gav Pearson and Martin Hayes are 3 hours into a night shift.
We've got a report of a vehicle involved in a collision. It's believed the vehicle's driven off with some extensive damage. There's possibility that the driver may be under influence of a drink.
With rising deaths on our roads, officers like Gav and Martin deal with over 1,000 illegal drivers across the county every year.
We're just going to make us way to area, see if we can trace the vehicle involved. It's just up here a bit.
Go ahead.
First tyre track.
There you go.
There's a wheel. Just there. If you have a look, you got your white marking road.
Follow the yellow brick road.
If somebody hasn't reported an accident and driven away, then we are thinking that these are not normal members of the public. They've got something to hide. Drivers tend to make off to try and hide what they're doing because they're just after saving their own skin, they're not interested in anything else. This is really odd. That's going to be where it's collided with them. Drive off that way. There, turned off into there.
I can speak to him and just sort of warn him.
Turned off into property, mate. It's going to be in here somewhere, isn't it?
The marks on the road lead Gav and Martin straight to a farmyard.
Beware of the dog, mate.
Yeah. We're going to have to see if there's anybody knocking about who might be owner of this. Lost its wheel and then continued to drive and left a nice trail for us. Has somebody really decided that after a collision to continue to drive with such damage on it that how they're going to steer, how they're going to drive, nobody in the right mind would actually do it. They're opting to actually risk their life, members of the public's life, just to get away.
Somebody's just pulling up outside.
What's going on?
Who are you?
What do you think you're doing, pal? Apart from trespassing, what do you think you're doing?
Looking for a vehicle that's been involved in a failed stop road traffic accident.
Is it in there?
Yes.
Right. Is it down there though?
No.
Right, so what are we doing down there?
Come out and speak to me then. Don't just stand there shouting at me. Come and talk to me and we'll
I don't
discuss it.
trust you.
They're able to take the risk of running away from the scene just to save their own skin. So what else are they willing to do to get away?
Can you move your vehicle? No. So what's your plan of attack?
Plan of attack is to find the person who's been the driver of that vehicle.
I'm not stopping you, mate.
If you don't stop, mate, you'll get done for failing to stop. You're getting directed to stop by a police officer, now you stop. You'll stop.
That's how it works.
It is how it works, mate.
No, it isn't.
You're being directed by a constable to stop the vehicle. You're being directed by a constable to stop your vehicle. It is how it is.
It is how it is. Matt, get car. Go on. Get into the car, mate, go. Failing to stop. Yes, it's making off. Just watch him, because this might be him coming down. This is him. Just put your full beat, mate. This is him, innit? He's making off. He's making off. Yeah, the vehicle is now failing to stop. It's failing to stop. It's gone down the country lane.
It's a black Volkswagen Amarok pickup.
A white male, looked like slim build with fair hair. Gated at the end. He's gone into open land. He's ran through a gate. Yeah, it's gone into open field. Towards the A63.
Blue lights are on.
3 miles away, Traffic Sergeant Tim Wilson is racing to help search for the runaway driver.
We've got to be very quick to act, getting in position, tactically ahead of vehicles, but working as a team to try and intercept that vehicle.
Clear left.
11-9, 42.
That's brand new wet grass going out of field. Yeah, for gridders, we've just seen some fresh markings coming out of the field, heading up towards the A63. He's gone across those fields there. He's gone down there and then across the fields up that way.
I'll go back that way then if you're going up that way.
All right, mate.
As other units continue the search,
Let me know how you get on, mate.
Gav and Martin head back to investigate the abandoned 3-wheel pickup.
I'll go have a look.
What's going on at the mate's place?
Is it your place?
Not my place, no.
That's not to do with them.
Alright,
Okay? If it's your mate's place, it's not to do with you.
right,
So I appreciate you wanting to be interested in it, but we're not going to be telling you anything.
right.
Okay?
Act like that's my place.
Well, if it's your place, you want to get out of car and speak to us then?
I don't need to have speak to you front window here.
Well, no, you can speak to us definitely. Can't you?
Listen, mate, I'm not doing it.
Good for you. Just in that car. Martin, driver,
Yeah, what do you think you're doing though?
locking you up.
Alright,
Failing to stop.
you're failing to stop at a door, it's not locking up a fence, mate.
I instantly recognised that voice. It was exactly the same voice that had been shouting out at the 4x4 pickup that had made off from us.
Listen, right, you know what the crack is? You know what the
I
crack
know the crack is.
Yeah.
One, you failed to stop for us.
No, you haven't.
Yes, you have, because I directed you to stop. All
No,
right,
you
I
didn't.
directed you
No, you
several
didn't.
times to stop.
And I explained to you.
No,
but it's not
no,
an
there's
arrestable offence,
yes,
so
it
is
is. Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Sir,
Failing to
it's
stop
not.
for an officer is.
No,
Yes,
it's not,
it is.
sir. It's not. I think you'll find you should check your logbook.
It is.
No, it's not, sir.
For some reason, he decided to say that it's not up to us when we want him to stop. This lad knows something about this vehicle. I don't know if he's the driver of it and he's come back, dumped one and got in this other one, or is he trying to cover for his mates?
Keep going. Stop.
Well, that's what you're going to get in it when they're all like, this is what they're after, isn't
Yeah.
it? You're after it.
Get him.
Stand still.
You're a bad
Open your
person.
mouth.
Right, you've had enough.
No, I haven't.
Well, yes, you have. You've scraped the hell out of me tongue.
I haven't scraped the hell out of your tongue. It's touched you 3 times.
Yeah,
Calm
well, what
yourself
do you want
down.
to do with it, like? Shove it down my throat?
No, it needs to go
You can
3 times
understand.
on,
Yeah?
3 times on each
Oh,
cheek.
go on, sorry.
And on the other side as well.
My mistake. Listen.
You made off from us.
I don't have to
asked
stop
you
for the police.
No, I asked
this
you
is
to
exactly
stop.
why I don't have to stop
I
for
asked
the
you.
police.
Yes, you do have to
No, I
stop for the
don't.
police. Yes,
No,
you do.
Yeah, when I feel
Okay.
safe to do so, and I don't feel safe right now.
Okay, right.
Yeah,
whatever.
so
That's why you've come back to the scene.
Yeah, with
That's
somebody.
why you've come back.
Yeah, but I've
All
come
right.
back with my with somebody.
You need
haven't
to
I?
grow up.
It's late at night. It's cold. I'm in my flip flops. I've got pig shit on my toes. Can't you see?
Yeah, because you've been walking through mud in there.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's what kind of nice guy I am, and look what happens to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The man's drug test is negative, but his friend has something he wants to say.
The vehicle was in the accident with mine.
Which one?
And the
Who's
vehicle
yours?
in the village, what's just been in the accident, I was the driver. The pickup
Right.
belongs to me.
Told him it's not being.
All I've asked to do is to take me to pick this vehicle up.
So you're telling us you've driven it with one wheel in a dangerous condition, like you have?
It wasn't a dangerous
It was
condition.
dangerous condition. It was missing a wheel, bud. That's a dangerous condition.
I've literally just come with my hazards
No,
on.
no, load of
I'm not in a
rubbish.
dangerous
You're
condition.
driving with 3 wheels,
Obviously,
mate.
I'm a bit
Right.
pissed off.
I just wanted to get it off the road, mate.
This story was that it was late and they were going to go back in the morning to actually pass on some details, which I kind of find hard to believe. I can't see as to why he'd hide the vehicle. Bizarre, to say the least.
The man's confession means both suspects' illegal driving will likely result in a prosecution for each of them.
Right, what's going to happen is then I'm going to be reporting you for driving without due care and attention and failing to stop for police. All right, your vehicle.
Why do you care and attention?
Because you've gone off road and rammed through a gate, dude.
I haven't. Look,
You have.
that's a private track. I have
You've
permission
rammed
to
through
go
it.
down. Drive without due care and attention. It's actually endorsable, mate. And I haven't
It is
done
indeed.
anything non-endorsable. I accept
Failing to stop is endorsable.
No, is it?
Yes.
Do you want to bet?
It is endorsable.
No, it's not.
It is. You chose to get you sending this pickle to eat, not us.
I don't care what you say.
That's my direction. That's
Well,
a lawful
yeah,
direction.
I don't work for you. You are not. You
Okay,
are here to
all right.
you
enforce the law. Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you.
enforce
So
the law,
that
yeah.
means when I tell you
So
to stop a
when
vehicle,
you say
then
jump,
you have
that's
to.
it. No. Yeah,
Under Road Traffic Act, you
under
have to.
Road Traffic Act,
Yes.
I stop when I say
No.
when I feel safe to do so.
Okay, all
right.
right.
And I don't feel safe
No,
to do
you
so.
chose to do it because you were being
I
an idiot.
chose to
That's
go
what you were doing.
and get some.
You chose to go
as a
off road, did
witness.
you, and ram through a gate?
You are such an hard man. Do you know what you are? An hard man.
I know, thank you. The driving display shows a total lack of consideration, and they haven't put anybody else's safety first. They've just wanted to save their own necks. One, by driving off from the scene and hiding the vehicle, and then two, for the other driver driving across fields and to get away from us.
You've come back and told us you're the driver.
Yeah, listen, I was always planning on telling them.
The issue is, I can see you crashed into it and then driven off. So the people who's
We've ended up having one driver reported for failing to stop at an RTC, another driving offences.
Listen, I was trying to get you both attentions before when obviously everything was going on before.
But he didn't need to be silly just to drive off from us. The driver who made off from us being dealt with for failing to stop and having his vehicle seized. It's not going to be tolerated. They're going to get dealt with positively.
Goodbye. Shut the gate properly.
Nothing's ever straightforward in this job. What a bloody weird job. You can't write it, can you? You just can't write it.
Well, what are you doing?
Whoa. Coming up,
Mate, I tried to engage with you and you didn't engage with me.
an illegal driver tries to hide his tracks.
You could make up any name under the sun. Unless you confirm it with a date of birth, I don't believe a word you say.
And refuses to cooperate with the cops.
Police brutality, innit?
No, it's not, mate.
I know my rights, mate.
And when officers stop a car full of cash,
Who you pushing? Who you pushing?
the driver won't come quietly.
You're not putting the cuffs on me. You're not putting the cuffs on me.
Yeah, we've just had a reliable sighting of the vehicle.
Across the UK, 300,000 illegal drivers are caught on police cameras every day.
The vehicle's just hit a camera heading northbound.
Mobile A1 North.
Near Harrogate, traffic cops Sergeant Paul Cording and Jerry Tunney are searching for a suspected disqualified driver who's triggered a police camera.
Possible sighted.
We've cameras throughout the county linked to the police national computer. So people that don't have a licence, anything where there's markers on for criminal activity, it is just a number of tools, if you like, in the toolbox to help us do our job. Inside lane and take him travelling in excess of the speed limit.
As Paul follows the suspect in an unmarked car.
1 Series in white with a black roof.
Yes, I'm right behind you.
Jerry joins him on the motorway.
Lane 3, speed is 90.
Oh, it's flying. It's this white one here.
If it is him driving, he does have markers of violence when in custody with officers.
Yeah, got that thing.
This chap's got warning markers for violence. It's going through my mind at the time, you know, is he going to be violent towards us? Is he going to try and make off?
Passing the white BMW, Jerry signals to the driver to follow her off the motorway. Paul and fellow Sergeant Leanne Anderson quickly join Jerry.
Calvin, you all right? What's your name?
Why?
Because I'm asking.
What's up, like?
Because I need to know who's driving that car and make sure you're licensed and insured to do so.
Well, I am, no. I don't see why I've been pulled.
I've just told you why.
What's your problem? You don't see what?
I don't see why I've been pulled.
Why? Because you're driving like a dingbat 100 mile an hour in raining. Who's in the car with you? Right, so you've got a kiddie in there and you're driving like that?
I wasn't driving 100 miles an hour.
If you've been driving the car, we've got a power on 613 to ask you for your driving details so we can check whether you are licensed and insured to drive the vehicle.
Yeah.
Right, what's your name, buddy?
Name?
Right, so you're disqualified, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, not acceptable. All I'm hearing is, why have you stopped me? If that car had been involved in a collision, that child would have bounced about inside that car. The injuries would have been catastrophic. It really annoys me.
So, what's the crack, mate?
The crack is, your car's been seized, you're being reported for a driving while disqualified.
At least let my girlfriend and the baby drive off. She didn't know. She didn't know I was banned. God's honest truth, that is on my baby's life.
While the man is detained, Leanne begins a search of the car.
There's 2 Kinder eggs in the centre of that.
Yeah, they're the kids' toys. What do you do? Really? Just relax. Just relax. Just open the Kinder egg yourself. There's toys in them.
Kinder eggs used by people who deal or use drugs to secrete within their person. The Kinder eggs were probably for the child, but clearly when we started talking about searching, he went up a notch.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Who you pushing? Who you pushing? Trying to say something about the Kinder eggs?
You're paying for the purpose of the search. 20 quid, the Misuse of Drugs Act. Sergeant Anderson.
Search me.
Okay.
Search me. Listen, you're not putting the cuffs on me. You're not putting the cuffs on me. Listen. No, just stop struggling. You're not. Stop. Listen, have a word with her. Have a word with her. Not happening, mate. Listen, you're not pulling me about it. I've put nothing to hide. Oh, listen. Oh, listen.
Stop shouting at me and listen to me.
But listen. But listen. There's kids fighting them Kinder eggs. There's kids fighting them Kinder eggs, mate. Open them yourself. You
Right, will you do me a favour?
You can search me.
It's in search. I'm putting hands behind back.
Look on there. That's all I'm trying to do. Yeah? I know, but listen, she's not pulling me about like that. Simple as that.
Okay, let's just get it knocked up. He's cuffed because of his unpredictability. Now, whether his aggression was a diversion tactic, I don't know. But you think, why is he so anti us searching the vehicle?
Going to be searched under Section 23. If there's nothing here, there's nothing to worry about.
I haven't done anything wrong.
For drugs.
I've got a child. You think that I would be under the influence or like have any drugs? Why is she using the car?
Jump out the car or search you and then
Search you right now and embarrass yourself. There. And actually, I'm 12 weeks pregnant as well. I'd prefer you not to be doing that to me.
Yeah, do not put your swear down.
Right. There's a substantial quantity of money in that handbag.
All right.
Okay, so now you're under arrest on suspicion of money laundering.
What do you mean? What do
And you.
There's a substantial amount of money. So they're both under arrest on suspicion of money laundering at the moment. He's unemployed. He's driving his girlfriend's car, which he's not got a licence or insurance to drive. Just doesn't add up. Without a shadow of a doubt, they were both coming in.
Do not have to say anything.
It's from
my money.
Do not mention
It's not my money.
Listen,
It's not my money.
You're not doing that.
Anything you
Listen,
say,
It's not my money. My daughter's in the car, please.
Listen, you're not doing that. I'm saying it's my money.
You can't arrest me. My daughter's in the car.
Just say it for us, right? You're aware that your daughter's there?
You're not taking her out of the car. You do not touch my daughter.
It's a good job you put me in the cuffs as well. I'm telling you.
You are not taking my daughter. She's coming with her mother.
Can't walk off. I need you to...
What we doing with her or the baby?
Arrangements are made to take the car and the driver into custody.
Can you not take these off when I go near?
As soon as we get to custody, they put them off.
I'll have to fall on bang me.
They'll drive gently. I'll zip that back up.
Jerry transports the passenger and her daughter.
We'll follow you down, all right. Between us, we'll transport the female and the little kiddie, because I think he's going to pick the kiddie up from Fulford. Yeah. Although we've got a job to do, we've also got a duty of care, and ultimately we need to make sure that little child's looked after as well. My thoughts are, why are you carrying so much money? Initially they'd said they were going for a meal or going to buy flowers in Leeds. Well, I don't know, a bunch of flowers that cost several thousands of pounds.
Thank you.
With the disqualified driver off the road,
Just lift your feet up at the back for us, buddy.
the man is now facing a further driving ban and some searching questions about the cash in the bag.
Based on information held and items within the vehicle, a Section 23 search was carried out and a substantial amount of cash was located in a bag under the passenger seat. Both the adult occupants have been arrested for money laundering at 1522.
Right, buddy, my colleague here is going to do a search.
A body search reveals yet more suspicious items.
He had 6 bank cards, so each one of those will need to be looked at carefully by our financial investigators. It strikes me as a perfect example of money laundering, putting money into one account, removing it, putting it elsewhere, trying to remove that trail. You sure you don't want to drink a water?
Green tea if you've got a green tea, like.
While the couple's young child is cared for by a friend, they'll be spending a night in police cells awaiting questioning.
Right, you'll shut the door and you'll pop your blanket through the hatch for you, okay? All right.
They're currently lodged in the custody suite. We need to do Section 18 searches of their properties and the vehicle just for any evidence of the offences they've been arrested for or similar offences. Now we need a more detailed slow time investigation as to why he's walking around with a substantial amount of cash in his bag under the passenger seat, which the passenger knew nothing about.
Why would you be stood in the road?
Was the initial just them changing plates?
11 miles west of York, traffic cop Mark Davey and Special Constable Josh Hill are responding to an alert made by a member of the public.
We've just got a report of someone potentially changing some number plates on a vehicle
in this car park here.
Vehicle is still parked up.
So it could either be cloning or potential stolen.
Whoa, what are you doing?
Whoa.
We're in charge here. Take your keys out. And look, don't ignore me, you sound very silly.
I'm not playing that.
You didn't, mate, I tried to engage with you and you didn't engage with me.
I'm fine, mate. I'm not.
Give me your hand.
Right,
Give me your hand.
Give us your hand.
Then, boys.
Give us your hand. You didn't have to go that way, did it?
What's up?
We've had a report that someone is changing plates in this car.
I've just bought them.
Well, you might have just bought it, but any normal, listen to me, any normal member of the public, when police stop them,
Yeah, that's fine, mate.
would just continue on the phone, would they?
With 19 years of service, Traffic Sergeant Rich Harrison is an expert in dealing with suspicious drivers.
A member of the public has phoned us to say that two white males have been acting suspicious around a black Audi S5 and have been seen to change the number plates on it. And it is the type of vehicle, you know, it's a high performance vehicle. A male sat in the passenger seat, but he just completely ignored us and carried on texting on his phone, which just sends alarm bells for us.
Have you got any ID on you whatsoever?
I haven't, mate.
No. Nothing in your pockets? Any bank card or anything like that, mate?
I haven't. You like to take these off, or?
Not yet, mate.
This is a joke, this.
What's your date of birth?
Scan it all through. You can find out yourselves, mate. There's nothing. I'm not doing anything illegal here.
So the one way that we find out who you are, who you say you are, is by you confirming it. You're refusing to do so by not giving it. You are
my name.
Listen to me. You could make up any name under the sun unless you confirm it. Unless you confirm it with a date of birth, I don't believe a word you say.
Police brutality, innit?
No, it's not, mate.
I know my rights, mate. You've all surrounded me. You've asked me my name. I've given you my name. You've told me what I'm doing with the registration. I've just explained it.
You're letting the circumstances dictate the next 2 hours of your life just to let you date of birth.
It's not on this.
Right, you're not going to tell us. You're not going to tell us, mate. You're going to get taken to custody.
It's quite simple. You've not got any ID on you. The way to ID you is by you telling us your name and date of birth. It's as simple as that. And if you can't tell us that, you're getting locked up, you're going to York custody until we can find out.
This is brutality, this. This is proper brutality. I want to ring a solicitor now.
Communications have gone downhill. He's basically refusing to give us his full details. Now that can be because maybe because he's not got a licence, he's using someone else's details and doesn't know the date of birth. I mean, you know, he's disqualified, it's not his car. It could be a whole number of reasons.
It's now been 20 minutes with no date of birth, leaving officers guessing the driver's identity.
We've got old pictures of him on the system. He looks nothing like them. Part of me's thinking he's just being stubborn, but then none of the checks we've made can confirm his identity.
You used to look like that. Did you?
Mate, how old's that? About 12, 13 years old? Come on, let me have him.
We'll see. So this is what we're struggling with. We can't confirm your ID at the minute, yeah? We need to confirm you are who you say you are. So we've done what you've said, we've run the details that you reckon, and all that's bringing up is that old picture.
That's fine.
Yeah? That's not telling us that's you, is
Why
it?
isn't it?
Have you ever been arrested before then?
Yeah, but not for a long time.
What have you been arrested for?
Cultivation.
When was that?
A long time ago.
Bloody hell.
False, mate. I'm telling you. You're going to see we're wasting everyone's time here.
Simple, mate.
Simple, yeah.
It was,
So
yeah.
it was simple. I've explained to you what the plates was. That's simple enough. Shouldn't have to do everything else.
The man says he has just purchased the car, but with him refusing to give personal details, officers have no way of checking whether he's telling the truth.
It's a decent motor that if it's been nicked, you know, we're not just going to say to him, all right, mate, on your way, you're not giving us all your details and satisfying us, but you can go. So it's quite frustrating. We should find out, hopefully, in about the next half hour to an hour where he is.
Coming up.
So we're just going to have a quick search of this car.
It's not just the man's identity that's a problem.
What I suspect to be cannabis in there.
I'm going to require you to provide me a specimen of saliva for a roadside drug test. All right?
Have you got somebody that's near me at Battersby Radar, please? I've got a non-compliant driver.
And an illegal driver claims he's above the law.
You're claiming sovereignty. If you don't open the door, okay, then I may need to use force, which means pulling you out of the car.
You're going to see we're wasting everyone's time here.
Simple, mate.
Simple, yeah.
In North Yorkshire, traffic cop Mark Davey and Special Constable Josh Hill have a male under arrest who's refusing to identify himself.
Put yourself in.
We're not 100% certain on his identity. So many people these days will use friends' details, and because they're so confident with passing them, they potentially then get away with it initially, but then when it go to court, then it then starts to unravel. I think the only way we will confirm who he is putting him on the fingerprint machine, because the fingerprints won't lie. You know, they're totally unique. It's like DNA.
While the driver gets booked into custody to have his fingerprints taken.
So we're just going to have a quick search of this car.
The black Audi the man was driving has been seized.
Smell cannabis now. Bag that says ultra premium cannabis from California. So you got a grinder, telltale sign, cannabis in that. Oh, it's strong, that really smells. What I suspect to be cannabis in there.
There's a set of plates in there that are on retention, so they don't belong to anybody. They're ideal to put on a car like this and go and do all sorts of crime. You can see there's some tape on them, so they have been used at some point. It's just been a bit arrogant or a bit naive, and you know, and look what's happened now.
Back at custody, new information has come to light.
He started kicking off. He's not the person who was trying to tell us who he was, and the car was borrowed off a friend, so there's no concern of a stolen car. He's a disqualified driver, and we can deal with those offences, so he's now getting interviewed. Inevitably, this will be even more points and a longer disqualification.
Did you drive the S5 to that location?
The man denies driving the Audi.
He's shown as being disqualified from driving. Were you at court for that?
And says he was unaware he was banned from the roads.
Shouldn't be on the road. It's, you know, the idea of being disqualified and driving, it's just, well, ludicrous. It's a good job in the end, but it's just a shame that it took so long to come to the same result. Right, what a result that was.
With illegal drivers costing the government around £120 million every year.
557 number vehicle, check at Battersby, please.
Traffic cops like Sergeant Julian Pearson are always looking for motorists who shouldn't be using the roads.
Currently got no keeper details.
Thank you, we just checked the tax database if there's no keeper.
12 miles south of York, Julian contacts control.
It is showing as untaxed at the minute, 30th of September last year.
Oh, lovely. Righty-ho. Come back to you in a minute. So, it's not been taxed since September of last year.
Yeah,
so
details.
I'll have a chat with this chap.
Thank you,
Now then, you alright?
Constable, can I help you?
Yes, do you want to just turn it off a sec? Is it yours?
The car?
Yes.
Well, it's not a car, it's... it is.
What?
The carriage of conveyance is mine, yes.
The conveyance is yours?
Yes.
Right, okay. Have you got your driving licence to hand?
I don't know.
You don't? No. And what's your name?
Do you need my name?
Yes, because you're driving on the road and it's currently shown as untaxed since September of last year. So I require you to provide your driving licence to me, please, and proof that you've taxed the vehicle since September. What are you looking up?
It's been pulled up by the police.
Have you got somebody that's near me at Battersby Roundabout, please? I've got a non-compliant driver. You just pass me your driving licence.
You've got no jurisdiction.
Who are you on the phone to?
I'm trying to have a conversation with him whilst he's having a conversation with somebody else, telling them what I'm doing. And it was almost as if he was being given lines to feed to me.
Are you claiming to be a freeman of the land? So you don't abide by the law?
Claiming
You're claiming sovereignty?
Yes.
Okay.
The freemen of the land are a group of people who believe they have the right to opt out of conventional laws.
I've met people like this before. As a freeman, he's going to say to me, I don't recognise the law, I don't recognise anything to do with the law, I'm a freeman, I can move freely around, I don't have to abide by any rules or regulations, and that's my right.
I'm the executive of the United States. I'm the beneficiary.
Right, okay. You're a beneficiary of the executive estate. That's got nothing to do with the Road Traffic Act.
It's registered with Cressida Dick. It's registered with anyone.
It's registered to Cressida Dick?
It's registered with everyone.
Okay, so but she is the ex-chief constable, isn't she, of the Met?
It's not my fault that she resigned.
Well, she's not you, is she?
No.
Right, okay.
It's with the Lord Chief Justice, the Queen, Prime Minister. I'm no longer a straw man. I'm no longer dead.
You're no longer the straw man and you're no longer dead?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Clearly he didn't want to talk to me and didn't think I had any business talking to him.
You need to get back into your own camp.
If you don't open the door, okay, then I may need to use force, which means breaking the window, which means pulling you out of the car.
I don't agree.
Well, you don't get a choice.
I do not agree with anything other than you letting me go.
There's only one thing going to happen. That chap is coming out of that car, and that car is coming with me.
Coming up,
So I can't have the risk of you attempting to drive off.
the deadlock continues,
It's why I'm stood with this in my hand in case you do something stupid.
forcing the cops to take action.
There wasn't ever an opportunity where I was going to wave at him and say, right, off you pop, and get back in my car and drive off and leave him.
In North Yorkshire,
You just passed me your driving licence.
12 miles south of York, Sergeant Julian Pearson is dealing with an untaxed driver.
You've got no jurisdiction.
Are you claiming to be a freeman of the land? So you don't abide by the law?
Claiming
You're claiming sovereignty?
Yes.
Okay.
The man is refusing to cooperate with Julian and his team. He says he's part of a group of people called the Freemen of the Land and has the right to opt out of conventional laws.
Just see if that door's open, Mike, will you?
Are you a public servant?
Correct.
Right. Yes, he is. I'm travelling to executive.
I'm not interested in you being Cressida Dick, the Pope, the Queen, Boris Johnson. I'm not bothered about any of that.
Listen, right? Because we've listened to you. I've never met you before. I don't know who you are. So I can't have the risk of you attempting to drive off, which is the reason why I'm stood with this in my hand in case you do something stupid.
Can you just pass me your driving licence, please?
There wasn't ever an opportunity where I was going to wave at him and say, right, off you pop, and get back in my car and drive off and leave him.
15 minutes have passed
What's that?
and the standoff continues.
Just have a quick look in the car.
But he's now handed over some paperwork.
There was lots of letters written to Home Office, to Downing Street, and the contents of those letters were very sort of rambling, but typical of what you would see from somebody that was claiming to be a freeman.
Oh God, it's all one page, 10-4. He's leaving us no choice, but we're going to end up having to put a window through to pull him out. So, we will have disposed of your car.
That's fair enough.
All right?
I'm not accepting that.
That's fine. You don't have to accept it, but that's what I'm telling you.
Lock yourself in there. Put the seatbelt on.
Just try and get a picture of him, Mike. Okay. This form here is from the DVLA, and it tells you what powers we're using to take it, how you get the vehicle back.
Yes.
Okay, and what fees you have to pay to do that.
Right.
Okay.
And there's a fee as well.
There is a fee. Okay. The DVLA will authorise us to dispose of your vehicle.
Vehicle.
Okay. We're not here to judge people. However, he accepted a lift to the services. Right, done. Job done. Now, I would have expected if he was a true freeman, he wouldn't have got into a police car. I think he was sticking his toe into something he didn't fully understand.
There are an estimated 600,000 illegal drivers using the roads across Britain. And every week, they kill 14 people and ruin the lives of many more.
Finding drivers that make off is rewarding in itself, but this isn't just a result for us, it's a result for members of the public.
Very often, people that use vehicles unlawfully will not pay the road tax. It is quite a big problem nationally. And the best thing to reduce crime is to deny them use of a vehicle.
Disqualified drivers, drug drivers, they are putting other road users at risk, and therefore they are wrecking families' lives. And then my colleagues have to go and tell somebody that their loved one's either seriously injured or killed.
In this episode,
Obviously, if it was in the accident with mine, and the next vehicle in the village, what was just being the accident, I was the driver.
the man who drove away from an accident on 3 wheels has been summoned to court and is awaiting sentence.
You are such an hard man.
The man who Gav and Martin believe failed to stop for them received a £166 fine and was ordered to pay £115 in court costs for driving without due care and attention.
There's a substantial quantity of money in that handbag.
All right.
Okay, so now you're under arrest on suspicion of money laundering.
What do you mean?
The man and the woman caught with an estimated £10,000 to £20,000 in cash in a handbag have been released under investigation, while a financial crime unit further their inquiries into suspected money laundering.
Raining. Got a kiddie in there and you're driving like that?
At a search of his home address, police also seized over £50,000 in cash. The male is also facing prosecution for disqualified driving and no insurance.
Take his phone, take his key,
But this is brutality, this. This is proper brutality. I want to ring a solicitor now.
The angry banned driver was fined £660 and further disqualified for 12 months and received 8 points for driving the cloned Audi. No action was taken against him for cannabis possession.
Are you claiming to be a freeman of the land? So you don't abide by the law? So you're claiming sovereignty? Okay.
And the man claiming to be a freeman of the land was fined £80 for no road tax.
And the traffic cops are back next Monday at 8. From fake delivery texts to false internet romances, phone scams don't get caught out is brand new Wednesday at 8. New next, the police pour over the CCTV footage of a Ranchak shop. We're doing the night shift at 999.